Hey everyone, get ready to dive into some of the most chilling secrets in US history. Today, we're uncovering the truth behind secret government experiments conducted on unsuspecting citizens. Buckle up because this is going to get intense. First up, we have Operation Sea Spray in 1950. Imagine living in San Francisco enjoying the fresh air when suddenly the US Navy decides to spray Serratia marcescens and Bacillus globigii bacteria all over the city. They wanted to study how biological agents spread. Hospitals reported unusual infections, and tragically, one man died. Next, let's talk about Operation Big Buzz in 1955. The military released over 300,000 infected mosquitoes in Georgia to test if they could be used as biological weapons. These mosquitoes bit people, but officials claimed they weren't carrying diseases. Sounds like a horror movie, right? Now, onto Operation Dropkick in 1956 and 1957. Similar to Big Buzz, but this time they used Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which can spread diseases like yellow fever. The goal? Biowarfare testing. Then there's Operation LAC, or Large Area Coverage, from 1957 to 1958. The military released zinc cadmium sulfide, a possible carcinogen, into the air over the Midwest and southern US. They wanted to see how far chemical agents could travel. Operation Dew in 1951 and 1952 took things to the coast. The military released radioactive particles and biological agents from ships and planes to study their dispersion over land and water. In the 1950s and 1960s, St. Louis and Minneapolis saw the army spraying zinc cadmium sulfide, again potentially toxic, over low-income housing areas, mostly affecting African American communities. And now, the infamous Tuskegee syphilis experiment from 1932 to 1972. The US Public Health Service knowingly left 399 black men untreated for syphilis, even after a cure was available, to study the disease's long-term effects. Absolutely horrifying. Operation Whitecoat in the 1950s to 1970s had US Army volunteers exposed to biological agents like anthrax and Q fever to test vaccines and treatments. Project 112, SHAD, from the 1960s to the 1970s took testing to various locations, including US ships and remote islands. The Department of Defense tested biological and chemical agents on troops without their knowledge. Substances included VX nerve gas and sarin, and that's not all. The psychological experiments were just as shocking. MK-Ultra from the 1950s to the 1970s saw the CIA conducting secret experiments involving LSD and other psychoactive substances. They used unwitting subjects, military personnel, prisoners and civilians. The aim? Mind control and behavior modification. The Stanford prison experiment in 1971 had participants acting as guards or prisoners in a simulated prison environment. It quickly escalated into abusive behavior and severe psychological distress. It was supposed to last 2 weeks but had to be shut down after just 6 days. The Milgram experiment in 1961 tested obedience to authority figures. Participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to an actor. Many continued to administer shocks even as the actor pretended to scream in pain. And even after MK-Ultra, the CIA continued with various forms of psychological manipulation and mind control techniques. These included studies on psychological warfare, hypnosis, and propaganda. In more recent times, social media and advertising have taken over the manipulation game. Remember Facebook's 2014 experiment? They manipulated the news feeds of nearly 700,000 users to study how emotional content affected moods. These experiments show the potential for exploiting psychological techniques, whether for government purposes, academic research, or corporate gain. It's a dark chapter in history, and it's crucial we stay informed. Thanks for watching, and remember, always question the official story. Stay curious, stay skeptical. Until next time.